You're rated 1000 at chess. What opening should you be playing? Let's have a look in the Lichess database to find out which openings you should be playing to get the most wins possible. So with the white pieces, my recommendation is d4. You can see this gets you a 51% win rate. Most of the time you're going to get d5, and my recommendation is the most played move, c4, going into the queen's gambit. They're going to accept your gambit with d takes c, and now the engine quite likes the move knight f3, but I think for this purpose knight c3 is the way to go, because in response you're going to see knight c6. This now allows you to push your pawn with the move d5, attacking their knight, and you get a couple of good tempo now kicking the knight around. Most of the time they go to e5, which allows you to follow up with f4, kicking the knight. Knight goes back to g6, and you can follow up here with e4. And you can see after only a couple of moves, we've got a plus 0.7 advantage. We're winning 61% of these games, and we've got a huge space advantage. We've got ideas of taking this pawn, developing our knight, and castling in the next couple of moves. And this is really what you should be going for with the white pieces. So what happens if you're 1000 rated and now you want to play with the black pieces? Let's flip the board and have a look. So the most common move you're going to face is e4, and my recommendation against this is to go into a Sicilian, so playing c5. You're going to see knight f3 in open Sicilian, and then my move that I recommend here is e6. They're going to go d4, we're going to trade where they come with a knight. And now looking at the options you've got here, you're already doing pretty well. You're going to win 51% of these games, so you're going to win more games than you lose with the black pieces here, which is pretty good going. But the move that wins the most, and therefore is my recommendation, is a6, stopping the knight or the bishop coming out to the b5 square. They go with knight c3, and you play queen c7. And I think even if we pause it here, you're winning 57% of these games with black in this 1000 elo bracket compared to white's 41%. And this is on move 5. So you can learn this line. This is what you're going to get most of the time. And this is my recommendation to play against e4. Now, what do you play if you're 1000 rated against d4? Now, this is my favorite line of all. So if you're 1000 rated and you see your opponent play d4 against you, you should start to get excited, because you can play c5, the Benoni against it, and just watch this line. And if you're in this bracket, try and think about what moves you play with white, just to get a feeling of how easy it is to fall into this trap. D takes c is the most common move. That makes some sense. We're going to play e6 to threaten to get our pawn back with the bishop. What are you going to do about it if you're white? Well, most of the time people play b4, and we can counter this by striking with a5, threatening to undermine the structure and get both pawns back. Therefore, white plays c3 most of the time, and you can see now the engine evaluation is starting to swing in our favour. This is a minus 1.2 position already. We take that b pawn, they take it back, and now you hit them with this kind of tricky move, queen f6. It's tricky because it's already game over for them. So look at the evaluation, it's minus 3. What are they going to do to defend this rook? There's nothing they can do to move it or defend against it. The best they can hope for, and what's played most often, is knight c3. We take that with check. So we can stop here, move 6, minus 3 position, you've just won a knight, game over. So if you're black 1000 rated and they play d4, this is the most common line that you can play into, and this is going to win you loads of games. You're welcome.